Hello and welcome to the Drywall Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Harmon. Today on the Drywall Podcast, I'm very excited to announce the third sculpture artist of our 3 sculpture artists series, Bernie Mitchell, out of Buckhorn, Ontario. So if you've been living in a cave or are just completely unaware of who Bernie is, he made a video with Brian Kitchen of Drywall Nation many years ago that ended up going viral, and he found himself in the San Francisco Globe newspaper.
So I went up to Sudbury. I spent 3 days. We did a sculpture. I had a trout jumping out of the water, and I did a little waterfalls and some hills and trees and whatever.
Yep.
And Brian pitched it out, and I'd be damned if it didn't get picked up by the San Francisco Globe newspaper. They put it out. They put it out in their art section, and like just within a couple of weeks, it was like 2 million views. Okay.
Bernie is totally awesome, and we cover a lot of various topics, including how his father influenced him, his love of woodworking, and color and joint compound techniques. The Drywall Podcast was brought to you today by Fresco Harmony. Fresco Harmony, making walls better since 2004. Without further ado, Bernie Mitchell on the 29th podcast of the Drywall Podcast. Let's get into it.
I'm on a job site here.
I like it. Is there anywhere that's comfortable? I have that bench, too, that looks just like my bench. I have one like that I won in a poker game about 20 years ago. I still use it. Those things don't die.
Yeah, that's about as long as I've had these two. I got a couple of the triples also, and I like it because you can stack them up, eh?
Right.
Yeah.
We have Bernie Mitchell. Bernie, where are you located right now?
Just north of Peterborough, Ontario. So we're about an hour and a half or an hour and 45 minutes northeast of Toronto.
How are you doing today?
Good.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you really well.
There's a bunch of awesome drywall art people out there. Drywall art's kind of a blanket statement. I mean, you're more of a sculpture artist, do you have formal background as an artist?
I don't.
You don't?
But not unlike you, I was painting, when I was in my teens, painted pictures, and I got into the leather work through my father, and so I was doing a lot of relief carvings.
Okay.
I was doing wallets and belts and that sort of thing, right? And that went into doing pictorial carvings, and I did a few of them. So on larger pieces of leather, 24 by 20.
Okay.
Where you do a full image, full scene pictures on them, right?
Neat. Your dad was a leather person?
Well, he lost his sight when he was in his mid-40s.
Okay.
So he was doing leather work through the Institute for the Blind, right? So I helped him along there too with lacing and that sort of thing.
Okay. Interesting. How far along was he into the leather stuff before he lost his vision?
No, he got involved with the leather work after he lost his vision.
Fabulous.
Through the CNIB, he would lace up moccasins and wallets and curtains and all that sort of thing, right?
Okay.
And then we'd go down to the local farmers market every Saturday and set up a table and peddle it.
That's pretty cool. You'd help him out with that stuff.
Yeah, well, we all did that were at home at the time. We all assisted with them, and it was all good. It kept them active from somebody who was very active as a plumber and a tinsmith. He was a very busy man, and
Right.
when he lost his sight, that was devastating, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Tough time for your family, I would imagine. How old
Yeah.
were you? How old were you at the time?
I think I was 13.
Okay.
when that
Formidable.
happened.
Yeah, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. And your dad, is he still with us?
No, he's not. He's been gone for many years.
Were you close with your dad?
Yeah, I could say I was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was very
Did he teach you a lot about art?
I have in the past. I did a deal down at the art school in Peterborough here, and we run a class through there. It just was a little much for me because I'd have to go in there on a Sunday morning and cover everything with a tarp and move all the tables away and then move them back in, and I didn't really like that part of it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't mind helping the people and instructing them. That was a pleasure,
Yeah, yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And if
Art's
I was gonna
cool.
do it, I'd rather bring people right to a job site. We'll just pick a wall, and when we're done, we just take it off, right?
Just scrape it right off. Yeah, yeah. Or just screw a piece of drywall to the wall, do your art,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
unscrew the piece and take it with you when you head out.
Yeah. Put hands on with it, it's very simple. Just to
Yeah.
unscrap the wall or anything, right?
Sure, sure, sure. Art doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be complicated, you know? You can use the
No, but
materials that are sitting right in front of you.
yeah, it's just keep it simple, eh?
Right, right. Thank you so much for joining me today, Bernie. I know you're busy, you're working. Is there so for our listening audience, Bernie is on the job site. It looks like you're getting into the seams, you're taping some seams. And
I just finished the front end area here this morning, so got this back area I'm gonna lick up here now. So
yep, I assume you do. Do you do seams before butts, or you do butts first, then seams and angles?
oh no, I do all my flats and butts. I run my butts and then run my flats and then run all my angles. Yeah.
All right, pretty standard.
Yeah.
And do you have people that are working with you there? I hear some voices in the background.
Well,
No?
there's some fellows downstairs hanging some board.
The hangers.
I'm not old school. I still run a bazooka and everything.
Nice. What kind of bazooka are you running?
Colombian.
Columbia.
This bazooka's it was brand new in 2003.
Oh, funny. So you've been running that one a long time.
I have, and the one previous to that, I got 18 years out of it. Eh? Or
Nice.
No, not 18, 13 years out of it, maybe.
So that one's a good 33 years old. Your old one.
Yeah, I don't use it anymore, but this one here, like I said, I've been running it since 2003, but I don't share. It's just me, so.
Right. You take care of it. You take care of your shit. It'll last longer.
Yeah.
Right. Let's get into it. So how long have you been in the trade?
Since 1976.
76, the year I was born.
I just finished my final exams and for grade 12, and I hitchhiked out to the Western Canada, and got on a job site and hooked up with the drywallers, and that was it, eh?
How did you find the drywallers? Were you put in that department?
I insulated a bunch of homes locally here where I grew up.
Okay.
So I had a good bit of money, and then when I got out there, I had a really good time in Jasper, which is a mountain town out there, eh?
Yeah.
In the Rockies, just west of Edmonton. And then when it was time to get to work,
You can listen to the Drywall Podcast every Friday on your favorite platforms such as Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and also YouTube. Tune into the Drywall Podcast next week. We will have Brawley's Dad Construction, or Ramsden, Sean Ramsden, with us on the 30th episode of the Drywall Podcast. Until then, keep drywalling.